another video. In this video, I am making a DIY cat arch inspired by Bailey J, who is linked in the description, and along with the video where she actually makes the arch. I was really inspired by the video, obviously, and I pitched the idea to my mom, who loved the idea, and so I went ahead and made one. Starting with the sketches, these are the ideas I came up with. This one was what she did, what Bailey J did, like a stone arch with foliage. I had the idea of like a little fireplace and we could put a little Christmas stocking up for Christmas. I saw these all on Pinterest. So there was like an elaborate archway, there was the hobbit hole, there was a apartment, like a city apartment entranceway, and then this one was like a mini house. And then I let my mom look at all of them and she really liked these two, but we were concerned with like the space based on where the arch was, because my dad had already gone ahead and made the arch so that I didn't have to do that. And so I pitched this idea of like it extending onto another wall, and she said, if you have to do that, might as well keep it simple. So I did end up basically making a Bailey J copycat. Full disclosure, it's basically the same thing. You'll see when I actually start making it, but it's just a for fun project. Obviously no profit is being made. I just wanted to be very clear, it is hers, and I'm sure she was inspired from somewhere too. All credit goes to Bailey J. And again, she's linked in the description below. With my sketches out of the way, here are the materials I'll be using. I used this air dry clay, and that's kind of it. I used air dry clay to make the actual arch, and then I used like toothpicks and chopsticks to kind of carve into it and make like texture, since I did go with the stone arch. I wanted it to kind of look old. And then I used gray paint, gray and brown paint. Gray, brown, and white, technically. And then I decorated it with these fake flowers. I got a big like branch of them, and then I just cut them into smaller sizes. And this is one of the leftovers, because as of filming this, I already completed it. And then last but not least, fake moss. Nothing special to say about it, but these were all the materials I used. So here's the empty wall. Here's it with the wet clay. Here's the dry clay. And here I am starting to paint it, but I just went in with gray, brown, white, like I mentioned. I didn't have any rhyme or reason for what I did. Later on, I did try to add darker colors in with the, like where the cracks are, where the grout would be if it were actual like bricks, just to kind of add some shadow. And for basically this whole time, hence why you're getting a voice over me, I was completely silent. I could have spoke, but I was kind of just in the zone. I didn't even have music on or anything. Because I anticipated speaking and like having a live segment, but this whole time I'm just dead silent, just doing my thing. I was trying to get it done fairly quickly because I did want to like finish it all in one day, but this is what I have. Again, it's just going over the paint. It was just regular acrylic paint. I did notice that some of the places had cracked clay. Not really sure how I could have avoided that. I think it might have been in areas that I kind of missed putting water later on when I was kind of smoothing things out, but the paint kind of covered that well, and with the whole like old stone arch thing I was going with, it's not like it was obvious in any way. It wasn't like, it didn't ruin the piece, I think is what I'm trying to get at. And then it's also a cat arch. People aren't looking too closely, so probably no one's gonna have the point of view I had when I was looking at it. That's all I have to say about the painting segment. I will show back up when it is time to start adding stuff. So here I am kind of just starting to add moss into the kind of the crevices most part. I found that was kind of the most easiest, that was the easiest place for them to stick. And then off camera I kind of, I took that branch that was kind of visible at the beginning. I took that and I cut it up into smaller bits because I needed basically just the individual flowers, not really the stems or anything. But I did keep some of them on the branches to add more kind of like visual interest, as you'll see later on. Originally, I just went in with like regular white glue, like the Elmer's kind, to put everything down, including the moss. But I'm not a very patient person, and so holding it there was not what I wanted to do. And with the flowers especially, in some parts, the glue itself wasn't enough. So eventually I did switch to hot glue, and then I ended up hot gluing the rest of the stuff in, basically. The moss was really easy to pull apart. The flowers, if you're not dealing with the main stem, it's just like very thin wire. I don't even know if it's wire at that point. I know the main stem is wire, which is why it's kind of a pain in the butt to make a simple branch smaller. But because I was just going for like the smaller branches, those I could easily just cut up with scissors, and therefore it was really easy. And then I did add some of the leaves from the tree branch onto it, because I thought it would kind of added some more green. It wasn't the same green as the moss. It added more visual interest because it wasn't like, it didn't look like the moss of flowers. So, and yeah, that's about it, I think, for me. As I'm getting into the last little bit and wrapping up the project, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in any of the materials I used, or if you just want to check out Bailey J, all the links and stuff are in the description as usual. If you're interested in following me on any of my other social media, those are downstairs. Those are in the description below. Here you can kind of see that I'm collecting all the flowers I didn't end up using. And here's the final look. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye!